Hi YouTube! So this is my 35 week update for my pregnancy. I'm super happy I made it this far, to be honest. Even at my 30-week appointment, my doctor was saying how, the fact that we made it this far is really exciting. So for those of you who haven't seen my other videos, I am having high-risk pregnancy from day one, pretty much. So now that I'm in my third trimester, I am still high risk for preterm labor, but being that we're at the 34-week mark, it's looking pretty good. So I haven't done an updated video for a few weeks on my pregnancy, just because it's been kind of crazy. So I'm going to fill you in on sort of what I've been going through. So to start, I ended up with a really nasty flu. Here in Canada, it is freezing cold, and this is definitely flu season. So, of course, with being pregnant, I got sick, really sick. I think it lasted about 3 weeks during the pregnancy. Couldn't talk, was really tired, and I was just finishing up my last few weeks at work, so that was really rough, but got through it. Just had to ride it out on its own, and that seemed to work out well. And baby was fine, still kicking me and going crazy as usual. So I got over that. This trimester has brought on some lovely new symptoms. So I've been dealing with a lot of exhaustion. My first trimester was very rough. Sorry, my puppy wants to see me. Was really rough, so I was really tired a lot. And then my second trimester, I got crazy burst of energy and could do a whole lot of things. And this trimester, kind of similar to the first, I'm just really tired. My body wants to sleep a lot, but my back is getting a lot of back pain, so that's making it very hard for me to get comfortable and sleep. Even with my bed filled with pillows, it's just not the same. So that's one of the symptoms I'm going through right now. Nesting has definitely started. Pretty much cleaning my house every day, organizing, going through and setting up the baby room. As you can see, I'm sitting next to baby bassinet, but it's sort of our guest room / baby room for right now, because we have just a small 2-bedroom apartment, so we're just making do with what we got, and a lot of our family doesn't live in town, so we have lots of visitors all the time, so it's nice to have somewhere for them to stay. So that's basically what I've been doing. Some doctor's appointments I've had, because I'm being monitored pretty much every week at this point. My doctor advised me to take it easy for work. So working at a dog daycare, I had to step away a little bit earlier than I wanted to. I initially wanted to stay working hopefully up to about 8.5 months, but it just wasn't advised. So I am now officially on maternity leave and have lots of spare time on my hands. I'm just waiting for baby to come at this point. So my last appointment, my doctor had suggested I consider getting the steroid shots. For those of you who aren't sure about that, the steroid shots are basically for people who are at risk for preterm labor. The biggest risk, of course, is when a baby comes early, is the lung development. So if the lungs don't develop, they end up on ventilator in NICU for a few weeks. There can be some other issues that come from them using the breathing tubes and stuff like that, and some short-term health issues. So I was given the option for the steroid shots because basically they speed up the lung development for your baby. So even if they come early, the chances of them having to go on a ventilator are a lot lower. And if they don't come early, there's no adverse effect for the baby. There's no issues there. It's basically sort of like a preventative. So I was kind of humming and hawing about it because I really didn't like the idea of going and getting these shots. They're not exactly, it's pretty strong stuff. And I'm sort of aiming for a natural birth. I really didn't want a whole lot of drugs and medication, all that stuff. But then I thought, you know what, if baby comes early and there are any health issues, and I simply just chose not to get the steroid shots for the sake of not getting them, and something went wrong, I don't think I could live with myself. As well, sorry, as well, a dear friend of mine who was having his first child, his partner went into labor 13 weeks early, and their poor little boy, pretty much day one, has been still in the hospital, and this happened around Christmas time, so he's been in the hospital for months now and will continue to be at the hospital, has had surgeries, medication, and is just really fighting to hang on. And I can't even imagine what they're going through as first-time parents, or as parents in general, and the fact that I have the opportunity to try to help my baby and develop his lungs in case he does show up early, definitely makes, he's worth all of that. So I decided to go for it, and wow, they hurt. I ended up getting, you have to do 2 rounds of steroid shots. So the first shot was in my arm, and then the second day I had to go back, and that shot was in my thigh. So that hurt. Pain lasted a couple hours, but then, went away. Usually okay with needles, but I'm not a fan of, definitely not a fan of that, but like I said, baby's worth it. So that was the not so fun side of things, but we got it taken care of. Really cool news at my last appointment as well. We did an ultrasound to see sort of the baby. Baby's been, ready to go, position, head down. And the doctor actually said that the baby was measuring at the size of a baby about a week and a half older than he is. So I have a fat baby, basically. So I'm excited that he's not got a low birth weight, or even if he comes early, he's going to be bigger than he would. So I don't have to worry about the lower birth weight. So that was pretty exciting. Downside is I feels like he's got no room to move. Like, my belly is really, really, rounded out, and when he moves, it's almost hard for me to walk. I kind of have to stop and just, take a breather, let him wiggle and do his thing, and then when he stops, I can continue going. But I feel like he's just going to burst through my stomach. I don't know where he's going to continue to grow to, or, how big I'm going to get, but he's pretty active. So, but nevertheless, I love the movements. I love, feeling where he is, and when he turns and gets hiccups and things like that. It's pretty incredible. So I'm can't complain, even though it's uncomfortable. It's still amazing. So the most exciting thing that's happened this week is I had my baby shower. So it was wonderful. Lots of friends, lots of family, lots of yummy food, and baby got super spoiled. So we got some incredible gifts, bassinets, bouncers, blankets, towels, pacifiers, toys, you name it, we got it. So it was really nice to be able to see everybody and to see all the love and support we got for our first baby to come. So that was really exciting. And yeah, so my next appointment is not until just over my 36-week mark, as my doctor has decided to take vacation for the next 2 weeks. So that really freaks me out a little bit, especially being risk for preterm labor. You get used to your doctor for your entire pregnancy. He knows your history. He sees you all the time. And God forbid baby decides to show up early. My doctor is sitting on a beach somewhere. It's going to suck having to, need a new doctor for the first time while baby's coming out. So I'm really, really hoping he stays in as long as possible, at least until the doctor gets back. So, fingers crossed at this point. So, yeah, at this point, that's pretty much everything I'm going through. I'm going to do a video. My next video will be pregnancy essentials. So now that I'm pretty much towards the end of my pregnancy, I found there were some things I really couldn't live without, and I actually had a really cool period where once I announced my pregnancy, a lot of my good friends posted and announced their pregnancies as well. So we were kind of all going through the same thing together and bouncing ideas back and forth and things that helped. Most of us being first-time moms or first-time pregnancies. So I got some really cool tips and ideas throughout my pregnancy that I think really made a difference. Had I not used them, it probably would have been a little bit rough. So I want to share those with you guys on my next video. So stay tuned for that one. That'll be coming up in the next week or so. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below, and we will see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.